Covering an area of about 7.7 million square kilometers, Australia is home to close to 400 active mines, a number that includes both open pit and underground operations. More than just a business, mining is a lifestyle in the country, with major companies such as BHP, Rio Tinto, Fortescue, or Newcrest providing about 140,000 direct jobs and indirectly supporting over 800,000 workers. From Queensland and New South Wales to Western Australia, mining reshaped the nation's landscape for decades, often offering some of the most unbelievable pictures, such as this stunning coastal operation, which definitely earned its place among Australia's most spectacular mines. Located in Queensland, the Ernest Henry Mine, named after British explorer Ernest Henry, is a copper-gold asset opened in March 1998. The mine represents one of the largest copper reserves in Australia and in the world. Purchased from Glencore by Evolution Mining in January 2022, the Ernest Henry Mine, which also produces significant amounts of silver, first started as an open-pit mining operation before it transitioned to underground mining in 2011. Each year, Ernest Henry produces approximately 80,000 ounces of gold, 52,000 tons of copper, and around 200,000 ounces of silver. The workforce includes up to 600 employees, comprising residential and fly-in fly-out personnel. Ernest Henry sits on reserves estimated at 1 million tons of copper and 2 million ounces of gold. The mine is set to run until 2040. About 2,000 kilometers south of Ernest Henry, New South Wales's Cowal mine is another gold operation, using both open pit and underground mining methods. The complex has been fully owned by Evolution Mining since 2015. Originally developed by Barrick Gold, the mine opened in 2006 with an initial output of 200,000 ounces of gold per year. Today, Evolution produces around 300,000 ounces, with a short-term goal set at 320,000 ounces annually. About 325 meters deep, the Cowal mine, also known as the Lake Cowal mine, sits on proven and probable gold reserves of over 4 million ounces, making it an absolute cornerstone in the owner's portfolio. This operation is set to run until 2040, but a proposed open-pit continuation project aims to extend surface mining, which would potentially push the total mine life to 2042. But how about good old black gold? This is Peak Downs. Peak Downs is a metallurgical coal mine located in Queensland's Bowen Basin. First opened in 1972, the gigantic open-pit operation produces high-quality hard coking coal and is one of Australia's biggest coal mines by recoverable coal reserves. Owned and operated by BHP Mitsubishi Alliance, the Peak Downs mine currently produces approximately 18 million tons of coal annually, with a short-term target of 20.5 million tons. When running at full capacity, Peak Downs, major asset in BHP's portfolio, employs up to 1,700 workers, making it a significant part of the local economy. The mine spans an estimated 8,000 hectares, equivalent to 31 square miles or 80 square kilometers. Proven reserves at Peak Downs are expected to sustain coal production for nearly a century into the future. Same mining basin, different operation. This is Blackwater, another ginormous coal mine opened in 1967 and freshly acquired by Whitehaven. The Blackwater mine produces predominantly low-ash, low-sulfur metallurgical coal products, as well as high-energy thermal coal with an annual production ranging between 13 and 14 million tons. When running at max capacity, Blackwater commissions up to 7 draglines in conjunction with a large fleet of trucks, electric rope shovels, hydraulic excavators, and dozers, requiring up to 2,000 full-time workers. Extending over an insane length of 80 kilometers, with the open pit itself being 35 kilometers long, Blackwater has coal reserves amounting to approximately 870 million tons of coking coal. But you'll hardly find an Australian coal mine more impressive than the stunning Mount Arthur operation, located in the Hunter Valley region of New South Wales. Once again owned by mining giant BHP, the Mount Arthur coal mine produces thermal coal for power generation, historically sold to both domestic and international markets. Producing 20 million tons of black gold per annum from 21 unique seams, Mount Arthur is set to close by 2030 as BHP is slowly shifting away from thermal coal, aligning with broader global trends towards renewable energy sources. This next one may be harder to appreciate from the sky, but it's no less impressive. The Olympic Dam mine is a gigantic underground operation that first opened in 1988. Originally owned by Western Mining Corporation, the mining complex was acquired by BHP in 2005 for $7.3 billion. Half a mile deep, Olympic Dam has well over 400 miles of underground roads and tunnels. It is the fourth largest copper deposit and the largest known single deposit of uranium in the world, with reserves estimated at 1 million tons. Each year, Olympic Dam produces over 200,000 tons of copper, 120,000 ounces of gold, about 1 million ounces of silver, and 4,000 tons of uranium oxide, accounting for 7% of the world's total uranium production. The Olympic Dam mine currently employs around 4,100 people and adds about $1.7 billion each year to South Australia's economy, making up about 2.4% of the state's total economic output. 2,500 kilometers west of Olympic Dam is Newmont Corporation's Boddington mine, producing gold and copper. In 2022, the mining operation became Australia's biggest producing gold mine, with an annual output that surpassed 1 million gold equivalent ounces that year, a first ever in the site's history. Active for 37 years and sitting on 52,000 acres of mining tenure fully leased from the state of Western Australia, Boddington generated in 2023 45 tons of copper, as the mine has been granted approvals to extend its life until 2041. With over 12 million ounces of proven and probable gold reserves, Boddington was the world's first open-pit gold mine to use fully autonomous haulage systems, part of a broader global strategy to enhance operational efficiency, reduce costs, and improve safety across mining operations. Now, you can't talk about Australia's mining without talking about the country's most famous pit, right? The Kalgoorlie mine is located in the city of Kalgoorlie-Boulder in Western Australia. Also known as the Fimiston Open Pit, the world-famous Super Pit is the country's second-largest open-cut gold mine as of 2024. Using a conventional shovel and dump truck mining method, the rectangular Kalgoorlie mine is approximately 3.5 kilometers long, 1.5 kilometers wide, and 600 meters deep. It's been owned by Northern Star Resources since 2020. On average, the Super Pit produces 450,000 ounces of gold each year, equivalent to 13 metric tons. This is nearly half the output compared to 15 years ago, when production peaked and exceeded 800,000 ounces annually. Anticipated to operate until around 2035, the iconic Kalgoorlie Super Pit employs an average of 1,100 workers. The world-renowned mine has produced over 21 million ounces, or 600 metric tons of gold, since it began operations 35 years ago. But let's not forget about iron ore. Western Australia, home to the blisteringly hot and sun-drenched Pilbara region, is the undisputed leader in iron ore exports, a critical raw material for steelmaking. The region alone supplies more than half of the global iron ore market. Owned by Australian mining company Fortescue Metals Group, the Cloudbreak mine has been a major contributor to the market since it opened in 2008, currently producing close to 50 million tons of iron ore annually through its Chichester hub, which also includes the Christmas Creek mine. Producing a combined 90 million tons of ore annually, Fortescue's Chichester hub employs approximately 1,500 miners. The company is steadily transitioning towards zero-emission mining, leveraging partnerships with equipment manufacturers like Liebherr to drive tomorrow's mining systems. Other mining giant present in the region, Rio Tinto operates a highly integrated network of iron ore mines in the Pilbara, which includes 17 operations such as Brockman, Marandoo, Mount Tom Price, or Gudai-Darri. Rio Tinto also runs 4 independent port terminals, a 1,900-kilometer rail network, and all the related infrastructures to ship the 250 million tons of iron ore it produces each year. With key operations such as Mount Whaleback or South Flank, BHP also ships around 250 million tons of material each year through its Western Australia iron ore business, made of 5 mines in the Pilbara, 4 processing hubs, 2 port facilities, all connected by more than 1,000 kilometers of rail infrastructure. But the Pilbara is not just about iron ore. The Telfer mine opened in 1977 as a joint venture between BHP and Newmont Mining. Under Newcrest ownership since 1990, Telfer is one of the largest gold mines in the country. Also a significant producer of copper and silver, the fly-in fly-out Telfer mining complex comprises both surface and underground operations. Open pit mining consists of conventional drill and blast techniques along with load and haul methods. In recent years, Telfer has produced an average of 350,000 ounces of gold, down by half from 15 years ago, along with 17,000 tons of copper and 200,000 ounces of silver through both surface and underground operations. Located in the Great Sandy Desert of Western Australia, the Telfer mine, set to become a Greatland Gold asset, is expected to sustain operations into 2025 and potentially beyond. But when it comes to the title of the most visually stunning operation, that honor undoubtedly belongs to This is the Koolan Island Mine, located 140 kilometers north of Derby in Western Australia, once again. Known as the oldest iron ore operation in the nation, the Koolan Island Mine produces the country's highest-grade hematite. The deposit lies below sea level, which comes with an insane amount of challenges, many of which have been highlighted by recent events. In 2014, the mine was mothballed after its seawall collapsed, completely flooding the mine's main pit. Mount Gibson's operation spent the next 4 years underwater as the flooded pit became home to sharks, crocodiles, and stingrays. Reopened in 2019, the Koolan Island Mine currently runs with about 400 employees. At its peak, the site had a school, a police station, shops, and even held the record for the world's longest golf course hole, which doubled as the island's airstrip. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a stunning Australian mining operation.